Hello, Good Life Travelers. Welcome to another episode of Travel Talk Tuesday. It's Michael and Tamara here. Tamara, how are you?
Good morning.
Doing well?
I'm a little blinded by these lights. Chrissy, I need help.
All right. You and Chrissy always complain about something. The temperature, the
goodness.
light, just, offer it up. It's dark and gloomy here, which doesn't help with our lighting here.
Yeah. It is like a little like the third degree interrogation. I know why we have them, but whew, they're bright.
Well, if you do it just right, it should actually thin your face a little bit.
Okay.
Right, with the chins and everything. Oh, right there. I'm not going to move. Well, as Tamara mentioned, Chrissy is not here because Chrissy's in paradise right now, and she was texting us this morning. What did you think?
She found a cat.
I think she was the most excited about the cat.
I think so, too. Yeah. I think she's in Punta Cana.
Punta Cana, yeah. She's got an oceanfront room. She sent us a little video of the hot tub filling up, and you could hear the waves of the ocean.
And then she was distracted by a cat going by.
The cat took her attention.
Yeah.
But it looked like a nice resort. I think we saw, I saw an ocean video or something on Facebook, or maybe her.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Or maybe it was the stories online. I feel like I saw a video she put of the ocean. It looked a little gloomy then, but she said it's been the 80s and nice.
Good. Better than here.
As we suffer, as I thought, I was looking around, I'm like, oh, it's gloomy and cold and wet and damp here in Ohio.
Spring's coming, though. It'll be here soon.
Well, all your flowers I noticed outside are all popping up, so
yay.
We can't have any more winter then.
I know. They're pretty hardy, though. They'll make it, hopefully.
And I think I heard it's supposed to get like 50s one of these days, and then like snow another day. So Ohio weather, know.
Yeah.
Tamara's just as chatty without Chrissy.
I'm still jet lagged. I really am.
She's gonna be using that excuse for months.
No, I was chatting with some people who were on my trip with me. I've been home. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow, and they said
2 weeks. Wow.
They're still jet lagged. And then I read an article. I'm like, how can you? I googled how do you get over jet lag, and I read that for every time zone you cross, plan on 1 day of recovery from jet lag. So I crossed 12 time zones. So
you should have done that.
I know, but I'm not. I don't know if it's a combination of the weather and jet lag, but it's been tough.
That's my one fear of doing that, because we're going to talk about river cruising in the Mekong, and it's really a bucket list, but I'm a little intimidated by that flight.
Yeah. I have a friend who was with me at the conference. She just left yesterday to come home, so she was gone the entire month of February, and I said good luck with that jet lag, because it's real.
Well, I think Tamara was a little tempted to do a whole month over there, but she was going to miss us all too much, I think.
No.
So Tamara, because she's so jet-lagged, wanted to just put her feet up today. I think she's sipping a little mimosa over there.
Oh my gosh, I'm catching up.
And we're going to do cruising, everyone's favorite form of travel. Now, although we talk a lot about ocean cruising, so the ones you think about are, the contemporary mass market cruises. You think about those luxury cruises. Think about the premium ones. Your Virgin, your favorite one, Celebrity, Royal, Holland America, all those different ones we talk about a lot. But what we thought we'd do today is kind of go beyond that typical ocean cruise that we're all kind of used to. Most people are used to either the Caribbean or the Med or Alaska. We're going to go a little bit deeper into other cruising options that we thought maybe a lot of people don't think about. You've talked about them before, and we've referenced them here on our different episodes before, but to kind of dig deep in the other options that are out there, because you and I, we've been to Cozumel so many times. You've been to some of the Nassau, Bahamas so many times, which
I don't even get off the ship anymore.
It has its pluses and minuses, but there's a lot of ports we've been to so many times, so that there are other cruising options that can make amazing vacations, and a lot of these are, I think, would rival or beat some of your land options that you have in these exotic places, too.
I think the best is a combo.
A combo.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Not bad at all. Okay. So there's so much to cover, and I don't want this to be a 6-hour Travel Talk Tuesday. We're going to go geographically, okay? So I thought we'd start in the United States, and we start close to home, because here in Sandusky, we're on Lake Erie. Mm-hmm. So we've talked about before the Lake Erie, Great Lakes cruise, specifically Viking kind of is a leader in that option. It kind of goes all around the different lakes, sees between Canada and U.S., kind of straddles back and forth. I know you've talked about it. This must interest you, this one.
Well, I think it's an interesting way to travel, especially if you don't want to fly somewhere, or you just want to drive, or you don't want to go too far from home. This is a good option, and those boats are really nice.
Oh, they're all newer boats.
Yeah.
Viking, I mean, they custom, all these cruise lines build the boats to match what they're doing, and
Right.
these ships are designed for the islands and lakes.
Yeah, I think they're a great option for somebody who maybe doesn't want too strenuous of a trip. You can take it a little easy. You can see stuff that's right in our backyard, but maybe you've never taken the time to see it from that perspective.
We miss or we don't think about it because you're thinking outward, but you miss that right here. There's some beautiful things along where we're at,
Great
the Midwest.
Lakes. Yeah, the Great Lakes. So I think that's a great option.
I will say they can be a little pricey.
They can.
But something that you referred to is that take it a little bit easy. What Viking does, specifically on these itineraries, is that they really hold your hands. Mm-hmm. So for people who are either not well-traveled or who maybe are a little bit slower or that maybe want a little bit more help along the way, someone taking care of, making sure they don't miss anything, Viking does a great job with that, with holding your hand on that trip. And you're going to pay a little bit more, but the service is going to be there, the food's going to be there.
It's the service that's the difference. Mm-hmm. And it's worth, to me, sometimes it's worth that investment because your ratio of like crew members to passengers is pretty low. It may be one crew member to one passenger. That's a good ratio.
Well, all the options we're going to look at today are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all, the ones we picked are all smaller boats. And so you're going to get that, 200 or less on these ships. Some of these are 100 or less.
Right.
And you're going to get that attention. You're going to get to know the people. You're going to get to know you, not just the other guests, but the crew. And so you get the elevated service, which I think all of us would appreciate.
And those cruises are a little more about learning and experiencing instead of just relaxing. So you'll probably have naturalists
speakers
that come on and talk about history or naturalists will talk about nature, but historians will talk about history and events.
Artists, people.
It's a little bit about learning, not as much about like laying on the lounge chair.
Yeah, you're not going to find a big. Very few of these ships are going to have like little. They may have a hot tub or something. Right. You're not going to have big pool resort style ships. I mean, there's going to be
no DJ pumping out the tunes on the promenade.
You can just have your headphone on, if you're sitting up top. But it's more of an immersive vacation. All these options that we're going to look at are more immersive because it's really port centered. A number of these river cruises talk about ocean liners will get you to the destination. We'll take you to the heart of the destination, really kind of take you in and get to know, roll up your sleeves and kind of get to learn the history, the culture, the food, my favorite thing.
I feel like the ocean liners are more about the actual ship.
Well, they mix both, ship and
these are more about the destination. The boat is really the way to transport you from destination to destination.
So. Which is why they're not massive and they're nice and luxurious and comfortable, but they're not going to be over the top, because you're going to be in the ports exploring and stuff, yeah. Okay, so Great Lake cruises, great options. Staying in the United States, river cruise. A lot of people, when you hear river cruise, you think of Europe, right? Everyone thinks of the Danube and the Rhine. That's everyone's, when they think of a river cruise. But believe it or not, there's a lot of amazing river cruise itineraries here in the United States. So I picked out some that I think are ones that I would like to do, so I think I'd like to book for you because I think they'd be fun. The first one, we're going to go west to east, okay? Pacific Northwest. The Columbia Snake River. So you're talking
gorgeous.
The Seattle kind of area in there. Yeah. Talking about the Lewis and Clark expedition, kind of going that route. Hopefully you survive and it's exciting. You know what I'm saying?
I've driven that route.
Have you?
It's gorgeous.
It looks beautiful. Yeah. The pictures look beautiful. What I would recommend is American Cruise Line. I don't know if you're familiar with American Cruise Line. American Cruises. If you cruise the United States, we have specific maritime laws, rules, regulations, all that good stuff. So the ship's got to be American-made. The crew's got to follow the American labor laws and all that stuff. So prices are a little bit higher because you're not paying the European or Caribbean loose labor laws. Yeah. You're paying people like a normal wage. So it's going to be a little bit higher, but it's going to be a great experience, great service. A lot of these American cruise line companies are building new ships because they're so busy. With COVID, everyone wants to stay closer to home. You don't need passports, so for a lot of these U.S. ones. So you're getting a new, beautiful boat, great experience, great service, good food. So that one you're going to see Pacific North Coast, okay? Mississippi, everyone thinks about the Mississippi. Have you been on the Mississippi?
Mm-hmm. I have.
On a river boat or on a paddle wheeler?
On a paddle wheeler in the Mississippi. Well, two. I took a big water ship down the Mississippi to get into the Gulf of Mexico, which that's kind of a long trip. That's like about 6 hours.
Oh my God!
When you depart New Orleans to get all the way down to the mouth of the Mississippi, and a paddle wheeler. But I think the Mississippi is very interesting too.
There's a lot of history and a lot of culture and stuff.
A lot of them stop at Natchez. If you're going to start New Orleans and head north or end in New Orleans, they'll stop in Natchez, Mississippi, which has beautiful old antebellum style houses that lots of people like to go tour.
Right up your alley, Tamara.
I like to do that stuff.
Bonnets and lace and all that stuff.
And I put my costume on. But yeah, just beautiful.
And so what I think, there's a lot of options. There's the upper, the lower, the full, there's round trip stuff. The one that really intrigues me, and I'd like to get a group together, is start in New Orleans, which our group loves New Orleans. So much fun, food, music, so much to do, even a little casino. And you work your way up to Memphis, okay? That's one of the itineraries, or vice versa down. And it's a fun itinerary. A lot of history, a lot of stops, excursions included in these, you know.
Are there any on the Ohio River?
Don't jump ahead! Always breaking the rules!
Oh, I see it on there.
What am I going to do? You know, her and Chrissy always breaking the rules. So, okay, different itineraries on the Mississippi.
Lots of itineraries.
And that would be Viking offers those, American offers those. There's some other little local mom and pop ones, but these are kind of the ones that if you called me, I would say these are probably the two to look at.
Fast, I think.
They're very popular,
Yeah,
which I've learned. You know, a lot of cruise lines, we try to get group space. Viking won't even do group space on here because it fills up so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
super
the ships
fast.
look like old paddle wheelers, don't they? Kind of like a little throwback.
Well, they're all kind of upgrading too. So Viking has all these like modern day Mississippi River boats that look a little cooler, and they're not like a paddle wheel. America has both. American Cruise Line has both. So they'll have the old style paddle, which is a little bit cheaper, and then they have the new modern style Mississippi River ships that are just gorgeous like Vikings.
Okay.
Bigger ships. I mean, you're going to hold more people, a couple hundred people. But you can kind of have the old school paddle, or you can have the new school. Everything's brand new and beautiful.
They really take care of you on those cruise lines. Like, they really form a relationship with the passengers.
That's the benefit of the size, because you get to know, you see Susie, all day, every day.
They get to know you and take care of you.
Yeah, and a lot of them are all balcony.
Yeah.
A lot of those boats, which that's
it's important.
Yeah. I mean, if you're cruising up and down, you can just go out your window and you're seeing the beautiful United States as you're cruising. I think that's nice. All right, so we're working our way up. I've got the Ohio River that you jump ship to. So Ohio River has a number of different itineraries. There's a cool one. I think it's 10 nights that goes from Pittsburgh all the way to St. Louis. A lot of people wouldn't think of that as even an option. I got into this. I never would have thought of it, but you're going to hit some cool cities along the way.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
See things you've never seen. Like Louisville kind of is in there. You could see Cincinnati. I love Cincinnati. I mean, there's some Pittsburgh, cool places a lot of people maybe haven't explored or experienced. So I think that could be a fun one. Another one I would recommend. It combines those two, the Mississippi, Ohio, and then it hit, the Cumberland River? The Cumberland River will take you to Nashville.
Is that in Kentucky?
Well, straddles there in Tennessee and stuff. So listen to this music itinerary one, okay? You're going to start in Nashville, and you're going to work all the way up and around and over and down to Memphis. So you're going to hit all the highlights of the music, and the food's going to be great. You're going to hit all three of those rivers, the Ohio, the Cumberland, and the Mississippi, and beautiful ship, great service, good food, and see some amazing U.S. ports that a lot of people don't think about. So I'd really like to do that one myself. So I'm going to put in some vacation time for all these ones that I found that I really want to see. So another cool one, what is it, the leaf
peeping?
Leaf peeping, okay. We've talked about leaf peepers before here, the ones that do the New England, the upper East Coast there. Well, there's a cool itinerary on the Hudson River, the fall foliage. I love that word, foliage.
Is it foliage or foliage?
Don't say
foliage.
that. I'm sure I'm wrong on
foliage.
that. There's going to be a lot of butchering in the rivers coming up when we get to Europe. So I'm just going to warn everyone. We make fun of Chrissy and her Spanish pronunciations. Just wait. Yay. This is going to get good. Foliage.
Foliage.
Okay.
Not foliage.
Sounds like aluminum foil.
Yeah.
Amazing. Are you into leaves?
I mean, they're pretty. Yeah.
There's something about the fall. It's kind of a little brisk, not cold. You're a little windbreaker. You're on a beautiful ship, and you're going up and seeing all the leaves changing. On the Hudson River, I mean, you're going to see some cool cities, some cool ports.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of sounds...
Yeah, like New England in the fall. I used to live on the East Coast, so we would go up to New England. It's beautiful. Like, it's no comparison
breathtaking.
here. Yeah.
Those leaves and the beauty of nature. And I'm not even a nature person, but there's some cool stuff
beautiful.
there. So I kind of think the Hudson one sounds good. Okay. Work your way down. We're talking about U.S. rivers. Do you know the St. Johns River?
Is that that's in Florida.
You've been near there.
Yeah, I think I've been on it. It's like an intercoastal kind of,
By the city, you remember?
Well,
this is our cruise. I'm stumping her.
On the East Coast.
Jacksonville.
Okay.
Jacksonville, Florida, where you've
Then
been.
it goes south.
Yeah, it hits towards a lake or something like that.
Yeah, but it goes, I feel like I was on it pretty far south. We rented a boat.
Don't be making up stuff, okay? So, the St. John River, a great, interesting itinerary down there in Florida, and it just happens they just do it in the winter months. So when it's nice and warm, so you need a little escape, you want to do something different, this little river boat will take good care of you down there. So those are some of the major U.S. ones. We could find a million others. But those are kind of like the major ones I'd recommend. We're looking at Viking, and we're looking at American Cruise Lines, okay? Then they're kind of evolving into these coastal ships, these catamaran ships that look like big honking catamarans. 100 people, 150 people, depending on the ship.
Oh, wow.
American Cruise Line does these. Beautiful ships, let me tell you. I want to do some more. I want to go do a ship inspection, ship tour, because these ships look amazing. And they got to be sturdy enough to do the coast.
Yeah.
And start, to go in a little bit, kind of navigate still. They're all about the 100, 150 and people. And they're all over. So they're up in the Pacific North Coast. Okay. They do New England. They do a cool history of historical cities that kind of starts in Charleston and goes down to St. Do you know it? I wrote it down.
I don't see it.
No, I'm asking if you know. Amelia Island.
That's in Florida.
Yeah, Amelia Island. So it goes Charleston all the way down, kind of straddles the
I think
coast.
it's on the other side. Isn't Amelia Island on the Gulf side?
No.
Oh, okay.
Amelia. All right, so you look at my careful notes. But, because I was not familiar with that. And it works the coast. Up in New England, there's a ton of different ones of these coastal ones. A lot of round trip from Boston, round trip from Portland. Some will go up and down into Bar Harbor. Some will go around the islands. The Cape Cod area. There was a New England Islands that really interested me. So you would probably know this area. So you're going to hit Martha's Vineyard. Mm-hmm. You're going to hit Nantucket, Providence, and all these cool little places that, maybe you've seen on movies and stuff. Maybe it feels like a Lifetime movie where the wife's getting killed and attacked and she's going to come back and say, those kind of movies.
You know what's good about a cruise in that area is that if you were to go on land, the lodging is very, very expensive. Oh yeah, like crazy. I priced out a trip for somebody last year. It was like over $1,000 a night for a hotel in Martha's Vineyard, minimum. So if you're on a ship, you aren't paying for that lodging. You're sleeping on the ship or the boat.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so it could be maybe even more economical to do a trip like that.
Yeah.
So,
and those weren't too outrageous price-wise. I mean, they weren't crazy, especially if you're including meals and all that stuff, service. So those are some fun ones up there. There's also a couple, they're introducing some new ones that go around the Florida coast. Okay? And I almost forgot, Alaska. So I think we maybe have talked about it here. Do you want to share with everyone the rules about Canada and DUIs?
Well, I can. It's not something
it's a fun topic, so I let Tamara talk about the fun topics.
So Canada has a rule that if you have a prior DUI conviction on your record, entry into that country can be blocked. So we like to. It's a question we ask people before they go to Canada. If that's a problem, then you either have to get an attorney to get it taken off of your record, or you just can't go. So, or you can go and try. It's really up to the discretion of the border person.
Inconsistent.
It's very inconsistent.
Not clear.
Yeah, Zach Brown Band, I just read not too long ago, they had been playing in Canada multiple times, and then one time they went, and one of their band members had a problem getting into the country and was denied entry, so Zach Brown Band canceled their concert. So Canada can be a little tricky. Our Border Patrol shares information with their Border Patrol, so they will know that you have that on your record. So just be aware. It's just something we like to talk about, and I don't think a lot of people are. We don't like to talk about it, but we want to be aware. Yeah, because a lot of people don't know about it.
So the trick is, if you want to see Alaska, the best way is by cruise. Most people agree. If you're on any of the major ocean liners, they have to stop in Canada because of maritime laws. So if you're on an American ship doing an American itinerary, like American Cruises, you start and end in the U.S. Yeah. You don't hit Canada, although some will hit there. But you could see the intercoast and the islands and inside passage on an American cruise on one of these ships built for that. Smaller, so you're going to have that size. You're going to get into some cool, unique ports. Not the major ones that you think of, but more interesting local kind of ones.
Uncruise, is that a cruise line?
Uncruise does adventure cruises, so that's going to be even more different experience. So get your Patagonia, whatever, Gonia, and it's going to be a little more adventurous. But great experiences, a little bit higher than when you do the ocean
Yeah.
ones, but you're going to have that unique service, those unique ports and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. What
All
else
right.
we got here?
All right, that was a lot of time in the U.S. We're gonna go quickly over South America.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting offerings on the Amazon River. I'm a little afraid of bugs, animals, so I'm not
Probably
gonna sign
shouldn't
up
go there.
myself.
Yeah.
But the pictures, videos, training is really, really cool on that. Okay. Another new one. If we're looking at rivers in South America, is AMA Waterways is opening routes on the Magdalena River. We'd say Magdalena, in Colombia. Have you ever been to Colombia?
I have not.
Me neither, but that was never on the top of my list.
Yeah.
But you do some of the training on these, and it looks like it could be a cool cultural experience. So Colombia. They got a lot of, what's a big one in South America is, like Princess does a lot of these long 2-week kind of stints around the southern coast. So that's ocean, so I'm not going to talk about that. But there are options there if you want to see it all along the coast there. But there's also, if you're going to do an Antarctic cruise expedition, a lot of them will include aspects of that South America. You stop, get some warm days, and then you go south where it's a little chilly.
Remember, their summer is opposite ours, so it's a good time to get away in our winter to go south.
Yeah. Have you seen anything about these expedition cruises down there?
No, I have a friend going on one to Antarctica in a few weeks. She was packing last night.
That would be, they help you with what to pack,
Yeah.
but it'd be a little intimidating what to pack, but the videos and the pictures are amazing.
Yeah.
Now, these are not cheap trips, let's be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's a bucket list.
It's a bucket list. You're going to pay money and have quite a flight down, or flights, plural, down. And then the itinerary itself is extensive, you know.
Yes.
But these are nice, beautiful, whether you're doing a luxury expedition, they're all going to be beautiful ships, small ships like we've talked about. Most of them have the equipment that you need to, they'll either anchor or kind of float there, and you'll take those little Zodiacs in Antarctica. You can go get on the ice and all that stuff. Crazy people do the polar plunge. No, thank you. A lot of cool things. A lot of these ships have labs on them now.
Yeah.
So scientists will be there not just to talk to you and explain things, but they're doing research there with you. Bucket list trips. A lot of these cruise lines, they really kind of elevate. They one up each other. How do you make it better? And a lot's included. The food looks amazing. A lot of them, you're going to get the parka. You get to keep it, or the fancy boots, or really cool souvenirs, plus the memories, plus drone footage of you on the ice and stuff. It's a cool bucket list trip.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we should do Travel Talk Tuesday from there live. I don't know about that. All right, we'll flip the globe. Look at the other cold area, the Arctic. Okay, is that on your bucket list, the Arctic? Nope.
Maybe Iceland.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're
for
looking
sure,
at Greenland, Iceland, northern Finland, all that good stuff, Norway, all that stuff up there, okay? A little bit different because the animals are going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
So ice hopping is not going to be as common because they got the polar bears up there. Mm-hmm. So you see a little bit more from a distance on some of the areas. But Northern Lights, a lot of people want to see the Northern Lights. I understand that. So if you don't do a full Arctic kind of cruise, a lot of times larger ships will spend, or even smaller ones, 2 or 3 days doing Greenland or Iceland, and they'll come back down and do like the UK or Ireland. So get a little bit of both worlds there. Cool experiences, cool footage, nature, springs, all that kind of stuff. I could sign up for that, I think. Don't you think?
You're not a nature guy.
No, but from a safe distance,
Okay.
maybe if the little thing is heated, that would help, okay? Good immersive experience. That's why in my notes here, I have immersive on almost everything because all
they
these
really are.
experiences,
Yeah.
you're digging in deep. So let's go to, a lot of people think the bread and butter European river cruises. On your
There's
list?
a lot. Yeah, there's a lot.
On your list? Is that on your list or no?
Yeah.
To see
No,
it?
for sure. Because I think of a European river cruise as a great way to see a large area without having to pack and unpack every single day and figure out a train schedule. I like the river cruises. But I also
best way to cruise, I think she just said.
best
way to travel.
You didn't have it on here, but I want to talk about something called La Boat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, where you captain your own boat. They're not hard to drive at all. And you go through the canals of Europe, and they're in many, many countries. They're not hard to drive. The boats can sleep up to 12 people, so you can take turns driving. It is an amazing experience. We've done it before, and I can't wait to do another one. Again, a great way to see Europe kind of at your own pace. So La Boat has a base or a dock, I should say, in Venice, in the city of Venice. So how cool to bring your own, like, it doesn't look like the other boats in Venice, but you bring your boat into Venice and you can dock there. So just one of the options, and we can help you with that.
Okay, I do want to try that. That's on my list. That's a fully immersive, because you're actually doing the boat stuff, even though it's not hard. You've said
it's not hard, and we had bikes on our boats. We could anchor our boat or tie our boat off, and then go bike it deeper or take a train to somewhere else because you're docking in the cities. Really,
a hotel on the water.
It's a hotel on the water, but you have a kitchen, so it was fun to shop in the market.
Like an Airbnb on the water, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bathrooms. I think our boat had two bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, but there are some that have 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms.
Now that would be a good Travel Talk Tuesday.
Yeah. And you can sit on the top as you're floating down the canal. You can sit on the top like a sun deck, and you can drive the boat from the top. So it's a great perspective. You're up higher. You can see things out in the distance. It really is incredible.
You know, we've talked about it, but every time you bring it up, I'm always like, we need to do that. It'd be a fun one.
We could take a flotilla of
What's a flotilla?
A few boats that went with us, and then I would suggest France is a place to start. That's where the most are. Yeah, it's just fun. You see the country from a different perspective. You're going into the towns and villages that don't get a lot of tourism. You see a real experience, real France.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. So the alternative would be to let someone else drive the boat.
Yeah, which is great too.
Which is it's a different perspective, and you're going to get a different experience, different places. So, tons of river options. Stop me if any of these. I know you're gonna stop me on. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Rhine and the Danube. Those are kind of the big two that all the river cruise companies have. There's tons of options. There's classical music cruises. There's wine cruises. There's food cruises. Those are all themed, and it's just regular experience these parts of the country kind of cruises.
Yeah, Christmas market cruises.
Oh, yeah. How did I forget about that? And then you got the Main. The Main in there, too, for us, our German friends. And, while I'm on that, the one benefit of some of these are in unique areas that these 3 rivers are going to see. A lot of opportunities for pre- and post-cruises.
Oh, yeah, huge.
So whether you want to head over to Paris for 3 nights, whether you do Amsterdam for a couple nights, whether you want to do Budapest for a few nights, German Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I mean, the way these are designed, it could expand your cruise to a land vacation too, front and back if you want, or just one of the two.
Or you can do multiple segments of a cruise or a river. So you can do like this segment of the Main, then another segment of the Main.
If you got the time, yeah. And then you're seeing a lot. You know, I mean, you watch these videos of people cruise. It's gorgeous.
They're great.
Okay, so I got that. The Elbe, you know that river? The Seine.
Yep.
Okay, the Rhone. This is an intriguing one because we're looking at Bordeaux here. So like for foodies and winos, wine people.
That works.
This is where we want to go. This cruise right here, you're going to be on the Garonne.
Let's just let them try.
Dordogne.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You're in the Bordeaux countryside, where all the food and wine is flowing freely. Okay, and then I'm gonna let you say the last one because I know you love it.
Douro in Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about that. You said it's the best cruise ever over there.
Oh, I love Portugal. Love it. I haven't done this cruise, but I cannot wait to go back to Portugal.
Did you see that river? Is it like in that good central area?
I was further south, but this one's closer to Porto. But I have heard nothing but great things about it. Lots of wine, and Portugal is not expensive, and you can combine that with a trip to Spain as well.
So you could be stuck with both of us. You could have me help plan the cruise portion, Tamara help plan the land, and we'll make sure you are taken care of.
Right, for sure.
A great trip, okay? Then we got coastal island kind of stuff. Europe is massive, and I know I'm going to miss stuff, and I know you're going to point some stuff out. UK, Ireland, islands out there, countries, tons of options, okay? A lot of the ocean liners we kind of encourage for some of those, but there's a lot of small ships too. Netherlands, Belgium. So there's some cool island hopping in that area and kind of along the coast there that I didn't even know existed as options. But a lot of the riverboat companies are, the Viking is offering and Ama's offering some of those, which I think look like a lot of fun. Okay. The Norwegian fjords. I don't know if I've told people I'm going to be going to see those myself. So very excited.
There's some cool ones.
The pictures are pretty amazing. Like, it was never even on my radar screen, but some people asked about it. You've talked about it. So I'm like, well, maybe I should experience it. Yeah. It looks a lot more like the snow melted. It's all green and brown. Like, I mean, it's like, it looks like big mountainous, narrow areas where you're kind of cruising through, and there's waterfalls shooting over, and it does look pretty, I will say.
It does.
You'll see lots of pictures and videos. You'll be tired of it by the time I'm done. Then we got like the Greek and Italian islands. You know, I did a training recently with Celebrity, and they had their captains of all the ships, and most of the captains are Greek. For all these cruise lines, that's like a big thing in Greece, you know. And one of the questions was, it was really get to know you on the captains, and they said, which would you prefer, the Italian islands or the Greek islands? And 3 of like how many were there, 9 or 11? 3 of these Greek guys said the Italian islands.
Really?
So, you know, the Amalfi Coast kind of area like that, Sicily, all that, you know, beautiful. But of course, a lot of them lean on their own homeland, you know, said Greece. But
they're both very different, those islands, the Greek islands and
the
Italian islands.
Both have good food, though, and good wine. Yeah. I think your girl, Captain Kate, I think she said Greek islands, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah. Greek islands. Croatia, this is one of your favorites, right?
This is a hot spot, really. Croatia really is beautiful. An interesting thing about Croatia is there are lots of yachts that you can charter for a week for a group of people. So it may be a yacht. There are lots of options, but
lots of yachts.
It may hold 32 passengers, and you take your group of people to Croatia.
People you can deal with.
Yeah, and there's a week-long itinerary. There's a staff and a captain that they're taking care of you, but you have that ship to yourself. I saw some of the ships while I was there. They're really nice. They're really, really nice.
The thing that intrigues me is that I hear that, I think, okay, that's like for the movie stars. But when you actually price these out,
they're not bad.
It's not. It's very doable, even for poor people.
Yeah, and your food's included, and they can really tailor things to you. I think it's a very interesting way to travel. If you don't want the whole ship, you can rent a cabin on the ones that are for anybody, but you have those options.
I mean, they have like the water toys there, so like you kind of butt up to like, there's the beach over there, and you can play on the water here, go swim up to the beach.
It's like below deck.
Yeah. And it does look fun. We're pricing it for a group that we think will have a good time, and I think there's other groups out there that may want to look into one of these.
I'm working with some clients that are going to take one this summer. I didn't book that part, but they're going to Italy for a week before. So I'm doing the land part.
It's very doable. And in a lot of cases, it's the same or even could be less than some of the other cruise options.
Oh, yeah. So I'm always shocked. And, yeah, very, very nice.
And I think that kind of leads into, there's a lot of options when we're looking at these Mediterranean islands. Whether you're doing the private boat, which is very within reach for us, whether you're doing the big ocean liner, whether you're doing some of these smaller, more well-known companies, or whether you're doing local, which could be a little different experience too. But a lot of options, though, to see these islands and different experiences, different ways to experience them. So, any other Europe you want to point out? Did I miss any?
No, there's so many options in Europe. There's lots of waterways. It's a great way to get through Europe, combined with a land tour.
Of course. I knew. Okay, we're going to jump down to Africa. Okay, we got 2 kind of areas I wanted to focus on. Okay, we're going to look at the Nile up north. So you got the pyramids, the Great Sphinx, all that kind of early civilization. Have you done that area?
No, but I saw the Nile when I was flying to Kenya, and it goes on.
You got to see it?
Yeah. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Like, it's a big river.
Yeah, I think a lot of these cruises, the African ones have internal flights too. So it's like a different kind of experience itinerary. You fly in one place, you're going to fly, you know, I mean, it's a little bit different.
Hop around.
Yeah, a little hopping around. But to see the video and pictures of these are just, it's that's a bucket list, definitely on there. Then the other one, the Chobe Zambezi rivers.
I don't know about those.
So this is on the southern tip of Africa. Okay, so if you're going to do South Africa, you're going to do Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana. So up north, you're going to see all of the Sphinx and the pyramids and all that kind of deserty stuff. Down here, you're going to see the animals. These are not long 7-day river cruises because these are not big rivers. But you're going to spend 3 or 4 days on the river. Then they're going to tie it with a land portion. So you're going to go do 2 or 3 nights in Cape Town, South Africa. You're going to go then to the river and do 3 or 4 nights on the river. Then you're going to go do a safari here or there. And it's kind of like you get to
A little
experience
bit of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sample of everything. It's like a little buffet.
A buffet.
A buffet. That, yeah, I'd like to see South Africa, and I want to do a safari. I mean, it does sound like you can check off a lot of things on that trip.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to Africa?
No, I think it's other than I think it's an under. We don't go there enough to Africa. It's life changing. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
When you've done a safari.
I would do it again in a heartbeat. And I would love to put a little river time with it as well.
Do you get tired of seeing the same animals over and over? Just out of curiosity.
No, not at all. Because it's more than just the animals. It's a whole thing. It's the whole savannah.
These cruises. Thanks for those of you who have patience that I didn't hit the do not disturb. I'll be reprimanded later for that.
We
Rightly
need
so.
Chrissy back to keep you in.
I need like a checklist because I forget every time to put the stupid do not disturb thing on.
Let's keep moving on.
Okay, sorry. Asia. Okay, there's a lot of options in Asia. A lot of cool cruise ocean ones. But I want to focus on the river ones because the big one now, and this is a growing sector, niche within river cruising, and that's we're looking at the Mekong.
Yeah.
You've been in that area, so there you're going to see Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of culture, food, history, everything you just saw, right? And more, like even the spiritual stuff. I mean, it's all the cruise lines. These river ones are all starting to open shop over there.
Yeah, and you can also get smaller boats and go for a couple. Like my son is going to Vietnam in a few weeks, and he's on a smaller boat that goes into the little areas like James Bond Island areas where there's the big mountain or the big rock formations that come out of the water. I'm sure you've all seen pictures, but that's an option too. A land cruise for 4 or 5 days, and then a 3-night river boat.
Well, if you're going to go all that way, you might as well have 2 vacations in it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think you have to go on a boat to see those areas. So,
yes.
There's little towns that actually float out in those areas. They're towns that are built on the water.
I've seen the markets. I didn't know they do whole towns. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, these cruise lines they're gonna have the excursion where you get to see these things too. So you're gonna be able to check a lot of these things off your list. The must sees, like from the movies or from your own reading on the area, you're gonna get to see a lot of these
I
stops.
think people would be surprised at how inexpensive some of these cruises can be in Asia in particular.
I mean, cheaper than Europe. I mean, a lot of these river cruises. Yeah. So I mean, and right now air's the same.
Yeah. Expensive.
So expensive either way. So why not go get
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's on my list. So Asia, there's a lot. There's plenty more. I mean, we're talking about going to Japan. You're doing all up on the coast. A lot of
Japan
cool
has
ones.
a lot of islands.
Yeah, a lot of cool options over there. I put Australia down, but we could do that in a whole nother. We could do a whole Australia episode. I think you've booked people there. A lot of cruise options there, New Zealand, all that stuff. So I don't want to go in there. Singapore, fun places. Lots in that part of the world. Okay. One thing I did forget, you got the boat, which is good. We covered that. We had a little disagreement whether we talked about this is not ocean. This is not the big ocean cruises, but I do want to add one little nuanced, different kind of ocean cruise that's not an ocean cruise, if you will. At the beginning, I said we're not talking about the big mega ships. You usually think about the Caribbean and stuff that have the water slides, all those kind of big resort-style ships. There's another kind of cruising. You would like this. It's an old school type cruising.
You call me old.
I said old school type cruising. Okay, this is like the original kind of cruise liners, ocean liners. They're originally just for transportation between, you're talking about the UK and New York, okay, US. And so there's an awesome company called Cunard. I always mispronounce it, Cunard. And people do this regularly. People will do the same itinerary over and over because it's an experience in and of itself. That's not like a normal cruise. That's not like a river one. But it's just a different way of experiencing the water and transportation. Ever done one of those?
No.
Any interest?
Are these like the fancy ships where you have to wear like a ball gown at night?
Well, you've got nothing else to do at sea, so they do have some dress ups. At one point, you said you were interested in Cunard.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to cross the ocean.
There's something experience. I think it should be on everyone's. If you're really a cruiser, it should be on your bucket list. I think
I'm really a cruiser then. I like to go see the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of it's the whole experience of just doing what people have done for 1,000 years or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Making that transit.
Planes.
I know. I still want to try it though. Okay, good. Any other cruises beyond ocean that I'm...
No, I think the whole point of our show today is to say that there are so many options other than those big mass market ships. From charter your own to 150, 300 people on a smaller ship. And the smaller ship, the easier it is to get in to see more of the area.
Yeah. So I want to summarize it. I found these 9 points of why this can be applied to the river, the small expedition, any of these, okay? Here's the top 9 reasons why these are good options. The ships are going to get you right in the heart of where you want to see. You're not going to be at a port and have to get on a bus,
Drive an hour.
Drive an hour, 2, 3, 4, wherever it is. They're going to take you right there. Number 2, I can't read my hand. Oh, you unpack once, which I think you might have mentioned. So you're going to see a lot of different places, countries, cities. You're only unpacking once, makes life easy. Number 3, a lot of the food is local source.
Yes.
So you're going to have recipes from those areas. You're going to have fresh food from those areas, especially those rivers. The smaller river boats are going to be...
I've been in markets and seen, you can tell that they're like the ship people out shopping in the market. I think that's cool.
That is one of my bucket list excursions. They have excursions where you go with the chef, you go to the markets, you get to see it, and then you get... that sounds good to me. Size matters. Number 4, size matters because these are small ships. So as we mentioned before, fewer passengers, you can get to know people, for better or worse. Crew gets to know you better. You're not going to need a map to get from one end of the ship to the other. It's very simple, small ships, intimate settings, great service. Which leads to number 5, service. Straight up, the service is going to be better because it's a higher ratio of staff to cruisers, or better ratio, I should say. Number 6, a lot of these excursions are included. Some cruise lines will have 3 or 4 options at each port. Some will have 1 option. All of them will have additional options that are not included, but a lot of these are going to have included excursions. They are a little steeper in price, so they're going to include that for you. Okay. Number 7, this screams Tamara, and we mentioned this before, endless pre- and post-cruise options. So whether you go through the cruise line or whether you use our services to find that great second vacation at the front, back, or both. Part 2. Or 3. Part 2. Yeah, because you
can do pre and post.
If you're not doing a round trip and you're going to see end and begin in 2 cool places, why not do...
Right.
I'm doing a Mediterranean next year with a group, and it's going to start in Rome and end in Athens, so...
That screams pre and post.
Why would you not do something in Rome and Athens?
I mean, go all that way.
Yeah, but that's how these river ones are too. That was just an example. 8, because of the size, because of where they're located, these are easy embarkation and disembarkation. So, some of these mega ships are getting you on board in 15 minutes. Some are taking an hour to get on board. So these are going to be like 10 minutes at the most. And
you can embark and then go back out into the city.
I mean, you're talking 100 people, so the security is just going to be significantly different than what we're kind of used to on these bigger ships, right? And then just an all-around great experience. That was number 9. A great experience. I put that down, great experience. And that's because it's a different experience, unique experience. Not as touristy. A lot of these places are not going to, they're going to be a little bit deeper.
More authentic.
Yeah. Which, that's big for people now.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Any other cruising stuff you want to chime in? The best way to travel?
No. We've covered a lot.
I talk a mile a minute because I get excited, and a lot of these river cruises I want to do, these coastal cruises, all over this. You make a list, really, what you need to do, what you want to see, and what you want to do. So, we'll turn to wave season. Ties to cruises, of course, because that's where it started. But everyone has great wave season deals. Any interesting trips or deals you want to? I know a lot of your tour companies have.
So busy.
They have 10 or 15% off a lot of the tours. I noticed.
Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of FIT stuff where I'm doing it. I'm not joining a tour. They're doing it on their own independently.
So you have that option, a pre-made tour, or put Tamara to work, and they have her fully customize every aspect of it. There's pluses and minuses to both, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Chrissy's not here, but I know there are plenty all-inclusive specials. All of them are running the deals. We've talked about it before. Sandals has their 777 each week, a different hotel or resort they're featuring. They have regular percentage off, rack rates, all that good stuff. Ryu has, I think, up to 50-some% off. AMR now, Hyatt has some good deals. So
she can always find a good deal.
Yeah, she's
a deal.
Yeah. So if an all-inclusive is sounding good to you right now, especially with this crappy weather, call, message, email Chrissy, and she'll begin that process for you. So take advantage of some good deals. Wave season, some cruise lines will do the same deal the whole season. Some will change it and evolve it every month. So some have continued switching between 50 off, buy one get one free for Norwegian. They keep flip-flopping back and forth, free at sea, of course. Look at Virgin. They started off at, I think it was 60% off second cruiser. Right now we're at 55% till today. So come tomorrow it'll be 50% off. So that 5%, that can make or break it, some money. And they also have the up to $600 bar tab. You've got Celebrity's got up to 75% off second cruiser. Royal Caribbean's got up to 65%. Save so much money. Kids sail free certain dates. All the luxury cruise liners have $1,200 off a cabin or buy one get one free.
Lots of deals.
Lots of deals, and it is a great way to vacation. So, any TGLT updates you'd like to share with anyone?
Gosh, no, I don't think so.
She's ready to get back to work, I think.
Yeah, I have an appointment soon to talk about Sicily.
Sicily, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
All right, they probably got good food over there.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Lots of deals going on. We got a lot of group activity, group cruises going on. So contact any of us for whatever kind of travel you're looking for.
One thing I do want to mention, if you are thinking about going somewhere this summer, gosh, you really need to reach out to us soon. Especially in my world, Europe is it's becoming more difficult to find places to stay. Amalfi Coast is really, really tough. So we get a lot of last minute requests, and I just want to mention your choices are kind of limited when that happens. So if you're thinking about it, give us a call. We'll start a conversation.
And I think that's the thing. We can find options, even last minute. Like you got a message this past weekend for 2 different spring break options. We can find them.
We can.
It's not our ideal vacation.
No, we want you to have the best options available. So the sooner you know, the easier it is.
Yeah,
the better it'll be for you.
For cruises, our hands are tied about what kind of room we can get you. So you may get stuck in a room that's either above your category, more than you want to spend, or below somewhere you don't want to stay. I mean, if you want a view, they're running out of room, especially for spring break.
Yeah.
In summer, you're right. I mean, people are vacationing with a vengeance.
And I read this morning that the airlines are cutting flights because they still don't have enough staff. So I saw that American canceled 50,000 flights this summer. So that means that capacity is going to be limited on planes, more limited on planes. So the earlier, the better, I think. Usually I tell people to wait.
Oh, God bless you.
Excuse me. I tell people to wait. I'm not sure that that's the case right now.
Yeah, it's, for my Norwegian fjords, it was not cheap to get over there.
No.
So, spring break, it's almost here. We might be able to put some stuff together for you. Summer break,
people are traveling.
It's filling up. So, fall, people should start planning fall trips. And I was even seeing a thing now, like Thanksgiving and Christmas breaks we need to be doing now.
Summer.
We'll probably do a feature in the next newsletter about those kind of, whether or not you should be thinking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, New Year's if you want to go.
Yeah.
We're working on a couple awesome New Year's experiences. I think we're just going to drop
the Madeira one.
Well, we lost that deal, but there's still
ends today.
but there's still that group's still going.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to spill the tea, as they say, but Tamara's got this awesome option to go to Madeira for New Year's. And they have the coolest fireworks show. We've shared it on our Facebook page where it's like coordinated all over the city. Massive fireworks show, exotic city, I think reasonable prices. Now there's a deal ending today, but the group price is still going to be good moving forward.
Yeah, but today it's €400 less than it will be tomorrow. And
but still a good price tomorrow.
Yes. Madeira is it is a hidden gem. It's one of those islands that has everything. You feel like it's a little bit of a Caribbean island with a little bit of Hawaii. With a lot of Europe thrown in. It really is. It has something for everyone.
So if you'd like to bring in the New Year's in Europe, contact Tamara because there's still time today for the special, but even tomorrow and moving forward, there's still room in this group, and you have some options on what level hotel, and it's going to be a fun experience, I think.
Yeah.
If you want to cruise, then we've got space on a wonderful Royal Caribbean ship that'll be ringing in the New Year in the Caribbean. So if you want to do that route, we've got group space there as well. So 2 wonderful options to celebrate the New Year. It's a popular time to travel, so these spaces do fill up. So if you're interested, put that deposit down and lock in your spot.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we want to certainly thank everyone for watching this week's episode of Travel Talk Tuesday, all about cruising, the best way to travel.
It made your day, didn't it?
It did. I even wore, I don't know if you noticed, I
yeah,
wore
you
blue
did.
today for the
I
ocean.
noticed that. Jeez.
I don't usually think that deep, but this was like, I got to put some blue on today for the ocean. So thank you, everyone, for watching. I think next week we'll have the whole crew back together, I believe.
I think we'll be together for a couple weeks.
So stay tuned, and we'll have another great episode. Any of these trips, anything on your heart's desire, any list or any of that good stuff to travel, contact us, connect with us, and we'll take care of you. So thank you, everyone. Have a great week. We'll see you.